morning, everyone. My name is Tanjina Anwar from Consulting Firm Ltd. So today we'll discuss about a topic, the role of a manager. I already write down on board. So in general, we know that each and every company have a 3 layers of management. The 3 layers. Top level management and mid-level management and the lower level management, who are basically the top level management. As we know that the general manager and the country manager belongs to the top level of management. They are basically involved with the decision making, that what kind of strategy will be take in organization. Those things are actually belongs to the top level of management. So in mid-level management, basically the deputy manager or assistant manager belongs to the mid-level of management. So, and who are the actually lower level management? As we know that lower level management are the people that who are directly working with the operational level, operational job, like taking order from your clients, processing, manufacturing, provide the service to their clients, and end of the service, collecting the money from their clients. Those kind of works actually related with the lower level management. And this lower level management actually monitored by supervisor or superior. So maximum time a company hired their people who are skillful, knowledgeable, and experienced. Those kind of peoples actually monitored by the lower level management. That they have this superior or supervisor have the skills, knowledge, and skills in a specific industry. So they actually basically can monitor the lower level management and how they can smoothly finish the job. So I think most of the people understand that what is actually the top level management role and the lower level management. Now I'm going to discuss about the mid level of manager. What actually their role in an organization. As we think that there is a two aspect. They actually contribute is a two-way. The first one, they always support their top level management by proposing something. What they will propose. That is the most important thing. Because if I don't know that what I will propose, how can I support to the top level management? That is a plan or strategy, or what kind of changes they can bring for their organization. That also one kind of support to the top level of management, which come from the mid-level management. How they can know that what kind of changes or plan they can implement, because this management actually work with the lower level management directly. So they know the market scenario or field, that how they can bring the changes. They can, what kind of support they need for the organization. That is actually related with the top level management. And what kind of role they are playing for the lower level management. In here, they bring some changes. What changes they can bring? Actually, the procedure, the process, that how the lower level management can finish the job with standardization. That means standard way, that how they can finish the job with standard within a deadline. This kind of changes they can bring for an organization. That is actually another roles of the mid-level manager. So as I say that in a lower level management and superior, when they are doing job, we can actually segregate their job description. That means what is their responsibility. We can identify from their job description. That means in lower level management and their superior, we can identify that what kind of job they will do in basic way or in daily basic. But if I see the lower level manager, mid-level of manager, they are supporting the top level management, proposing something and also bringing some changes with the process. That means we actually cannot measure their top job description. That means what they are actually doing. It is not actually, we cannot combine with their responsibility, with their job description. So the mid-level management has a huge responsibility. They actually related with the top level management. So they're using the brain. Maximum time they're taking decision by using their brain, right? Because top management, when they are taking decision, they are not taking decision by working physically. They are taking decision by assume or future assumption. So they are basically using their brain. But in the lower level management, those people are using body. I think most of the people are agree with me that mid-level management, when they support, they also think that what kind of strategy I can implement and I can propose to the top-level management. So this information actually related with the brain, but implementation are done by the lower-level management. So body is required to fulfill or complete the task. The main thing is in mid-level management, then when they are start their business, that time mid-level management are introduced with the lower level management. They become so much skillful, knowledgeable, and experienced. The main thing, when the lower mid-level management think that they need to deliver their job to the other person, that time they think that if I deliver this job to the to my lower person or the lower level operational level person, then it will take much time to finish, right? Because of that, sometimes mid-level manager think that I can finish the job with perfectly within a short period of time or less time, but it is actually trap for the mid-level of manager, because if they do the lower level job, then they become too much busy. They will become too much busy because they are supporting the top level management and they are also doing the lower level management job. So because of that, they become too much busy with their job. But actually, that is the main trap for a mid-level manager. If he comes down to help the lower level management, then he will expending more time with the lower level manager. So he did not get enough time to support the top level of management. So because of that, changes or something new cannot implement in any organization. That is the most worst scenario for any organization. So these roles now I'm going to describe in a corporate cycle. As we know, this is most of the people know this is a product life cycle. So everything have a life cycle. Nothing can stay forever. So as we think that, as we implement this cycle as a corporate life cycle, we can identify that in which sector, in which stage, what kind of role a manager should take. As we know, this is the point zero. That means a company started their journey. So this is the introductory part. These things are the introductory stage. That means a company just started their journey. So these times, a manager can play a role an entrepreneur, like a lower level manager, because he is doing every job, because the number of employees is less or few. Because in introductory stage, a company cannot hire much more employees because the shortage of amount of money. And most importantly, the most company cannot take the risk that I'm employed much more than my capacity. So that time the number of employees is few. So manager will do act as an entrepreneur. The thing is, he will act as an entrepreneur, but in a stage, the manager will take the strategy. He will take the much more than 2 or 3 strategy in this stage, because the period is short and the number of employees is also short. And if he take any risks, he can cover up, because if the strategy is not fruitful, he can go to the other stages. And he can support to the top level management when he worked in the root level or at the lower level. That means he know the field. So which strategy he will follow and implement, that is also a great role for a manager. If that manager it's not implemented perfectly, then it's a high possibility that company will fall down after the introductory period or after the introductory stage. It's the most important period for any organization. So after that, it will comes the growth stage. In growth stage, a manager has to be done a great job, because it's a time to hand over his job to the other person. Because in growth stage, he have to be standardize the process, like the manual or the process or procedure. Why? Because in this stage, the new things must be come. Because in here, the growth stage, he must be prepare some standardization. He will hire some employees, because that time the company have sufficient asset to recruit new employees. So if manager does not prepare the specific standardization, that it is too much hard for any organization to hand over the unexperienced people to do the job. So in here, the manager must be prepare a standardization procedure or the manual. Because if he provide the job to the other person, that other person, though he is a professional, but it will take some time to understand the job. If she or he get the manual or the procedure, then how he can finish the job, he can finish the job without help of manager. These times manager becomes a mid-level of person, because in here in introductory process stage he was a lower level management, but now he got promoted from the lower level to mid-level management, and it's the time to hand over his job to the other person. That is the growth stage for any organization. And another stage is the maturity. Maturity is the most important for any organization, because company think that my cash flow, that means my is a huge, so I can survive or in the industry is a tremendous way, because my cash flow is heavy. So I don't need to introduce something new, because customer is already taking my service or product from me. But who will say that today's introductory product or innovation product tomorrow is the old product? That the thing we already we maximum time we forget. That is the bad scenario for any organization. We actually can take an example from many organizations. They had a very cash flow was very good, but after few period of time, it was just drastically fall down, because in this stage, in maturity stage, they did not think about new changes. They thought that they have a huge amount of money, so it will not be reduced. That is the most important thing in maturity stage. So what things need change in maturity stage? What do you think? What is needed in maturity stage? New things? Yes, innovation. New things is innovation. Innovation is needed, because if I want to profit this way, and if my product is not running in the market or not service in the market, and because of that, if I don't bring some new things and I want to decrease the cost of my company, that will be also the scenario of the declining of a company. Why? Because my profit is not up to mark, and it's just stand in one position, and I'm just cutting my cost in my organization. That time, can I increase my profit? No, because the profit is actually stand and still in one position. So if I'm cutting cost by reducing the expenses or the turnover, the employees rate, then those things using, I cannot actually cut my cost for organization. That is actually the scenario or showing a picture that the company are declining. That is the worst scenario. So in this maturity stage are the best example to bring some innovation, but innovation must be cultivated from the growth stage. When I'm a growing stage, that time I have to think about my innovation, not after come back in this stage, because that time I will not get the enough time to bring the changes. So my innovation will be start from the growth stage. My thinking process will be start from the growth stage, and I will implement it on my maturity stage. That means in advance I'm thinking. So I just mentioned in here. So as we know that this is the actually scenario that which stage what manager will play a role, but there is a huge barrier that we actually know that what is my role, but there is a barrier that I cannot actually implement my role in an organization. There is a two reasons: the urgent job and important job. When we come in office, it's a natural process. When we start our job, we become too much busy with my urgent job. But what about our important job? We are too much busy with the current achievement. That is the things are current achievement. Current achievement, that means current achievement. That means day-to-day work. And we are actually 95% of any organization profit and sales are come from the current activities. Like we are doing monthly accounts, we are doing a spot job. So those are related with the current achievement. After finish the job, we are providing the invoices and client provide the remuneration or money. That is the current achievement, like 1 month or 2 months. But if I am not thinking about my important job, after few days later or after certain period of time, this important job becomes my urgent job. If I think that this is actually cultivating and my important job is CD. If I cultivating, after days, what will be happen? There is no things that I can cultivate. So I have to think urgent job as well as my important job. Important job, if I segregate, this is the future development. And 5% of profit can come from future development. We can postpone this future development for current achievement, but we cannot cancel this future development, because this future development come once times later, it will be our current achievement. That will be the most important things, that my future development and the current achievement. I can postpone it but cannot cancel. So whenever I'm doing job, whenever the manager doing the job, they have to be think about the current achievement, because this current achievement can done by the lower level management, right? This work can be done by the lower level management. Yes, I know that this current job are also held by the mid-level manager, but the manager have to be think about the future development, because after 5 years later, this important job will be our current achievement. So how we can utilize our responsibility to support the top level management and the lower level management, that is actually depends on the person to person. Though how much we busy we know, but we have to think about the future, that what will be the happen. That is the most important things. Current job we are finishing by anyhow, but what will be happen to the future, that is also important. So innovation, when innovation is needed and when we will think about the innovation, it's actually depends on the person, then how they will utilize their job and how they will be utilize their responsibility. That's all about my presentation. Thank you so much.